Sometimes I wonder what the thought process of our ancestors were. They probably were like, you know what? Why don't we put all these fish guts in a barrel, put some salt in them, put a lid on it, yeah, and wait for a year or so until the stench from the fish guts is so bad it makes Ethan's 2-month-old socks smell like lavender in comparison. You know what? That sounds oddly convincing. But how can we convince people to eat it? Just tell them it's fermented. Fermented? What does that mean? I don't know. Just tell them we used science. Fish sauce is a fermented condiment made from fish or krill that has been coated in salt and left to ferment. The origins of fish sauce trace back to ancient civilizations, particularly in China, Greece, and Rome, where it was a staple ingredient. The Romans called their version garum, a highly prized sauce made by fermenting fish guts, blood, and other remnants. Large vats were filled with these waste products, mixed with salt, and left to decompose under the sun. Over time, bacteria broke down the proteins, releasing amino acids and umami-rich liquid. After months, the top layer was skimmed off, filtered, and used as a seasoning. This process remains largely unchanged in modern Southeast Asian fish sauce production. In Thailand, Vietnam, and in the Philippines, entire fish are layered in barrels with salt. Enzymes from the guts digest the flesh, producing liquid. The first extraction yields the highest quality, while later batches are diluted. Traditional methods can take over a year. Industrial production speeds this up by using heat and chemical accelerants. The pungent aroma comes from compounds like ammonia and hydrogen sulfide. Though some modern fish sauces use whole fish, many still rely on discarded parts, making it a product of waste recycling. In Roman times, garum factories were located near coastlines due to the intense smell. Today, similar facilities exist across Asia. Some regions prefer a sweeter, lighter sauce, while others favor a darker, stronger version. It remains vital in countless dishes, from Vietnamese pho to Thai pad Thai. Even Western chefs have embraced it for its rich umami. Despite being derived from fish waste, its value has persisted for millennia. Fermentation not only enhances flavor, but also preserves nutrients. The final product contains protein, minerals, and antioxidants. While some cultures view it as a necessity, others consider it as an acquired taste. Speaking of acquired taste, that'll make it into some sick coffee, man. What? I didn't say nothing. Black Ivory coffee is one of the rarest and most expensive coffees in the world, produced using a unique process involving elephants. Originating in Thailand, this coffee is made by feeding Thai Arabica coffee cherries to elephants, allowing digestion to alter the beans inside the elephant's stomach. Enzymes break down proteins, reducing bitterness. This natural fermentation enhances smoothness and imparts a unique flavor. After digestion, the beans are excreted and collected by caretakers. They are then washed, sun-dried, and processed for roasting. The entire method is time-consuming, requiring approximately 33 kilograms of raw cherries to produce just 1 kilogram of finished coffee. The origins of Black Ivory coffee trace back to research into animal-assisted fermentation. Similar techniques have been observed in civet coffee, but elephant digestion offers a distinct advantage. Elephants are herbivores, consuming a variety of plants, which influence the flavor profile. The beans undergo a longer digestion period, further altering their chemical composition. The resulting coffee is known for its smooth, earthy taste, with chocolate and floral notes. Unlike traditional coffee processing, this method reduces acidity, making it more palatable for those sensitive to bitterness. Due to the rarity of the process, Black Ivory coffee is produced in limited quantities, often sold at luxury prices. The ethical aspect is also emphasized as elephants are cared for by conservation programs. Unlike forced civet coffee, elephants are not confined and freely consume the cherries. Farmers and caretakers benefit from sustainable tourism and ethical sourcing. The fermentation process mimics traditional aging techniques, breaking down plant matter and enhancing depth of flavor. The final product is carefully sorted, roasted, and packaged for sale. Because of the extensive labor and time required, it remains one of the most exclusive coffees available. Its distinct profile and meticulous craftsmanship have made it highly sought after. That would make for some pretty good coffee. I think you need to see a doctor. Kopi Luwak is one of the most expensive and controversial coffees in the world, originating from Indonesia. It is produced using Asian palm civets, small nocturnal mammals that consume ripe coffee cherries. The beans pass through the animal's digestive system, undergoing fermentation inside the stomach. Enzymes break down proteins, reducing bitterness and altering the flavor profile. After digestion, the beans are excreted and collected from feces. They are then washed, dried, and roasted. The process is believed to enhance smoothness and introduce unique earthy caramel-like notes. Historically, Kopi Luwak was discovered during Dutch colonial rule in Indonesia. Local farmers were forbidden from using coffee from plantations, but noticed that civets ate the best cherries. They began collecting and processing the beans found in civet droppings. Over time, this method gained recognition, and Kopi Luwak became a sought-after delicacy. Traditionally, wild civets forage freely, selecting the ripest cherries. This natural selection contributed to the coffee's quality. However, increased demands led to mass production, with many civets now kept in captivity. Caged civets are often fed an unnatural diet and deprived of their natural behaviors. This affects the quality of the coffee and raises ethical concerns. Some producers claim to use only wild-sourced beans, but verifying authenticity is difficult. The process itself mimics other fermentation methods where digestive acids alter the bean's chemical composition. While wild Kopi Luwak is considered superior, verifying sources remains a challenge for consumers seeking authentic and ethical products. Since we're on the topic of ethical, do you like maggots on your cheese? What the fuck? No? Well, tough luck, because what you're eating is basically cheese filled with worm vomit and worm poop. Cazu Martzu is a traditional Sardinian cheese infamous for its unique fermentation process, which involves live insect larvae. The name translates to rotten cheese in Sardinian, referring to its advanced decomposition. Made from sheep's milk, the cheese starts as pecorino sardo, a firm cheese left to age. To create Cazu Martzu, cheesemakers intentionally introduce the larvae of the cheese fly, which accelerate the fermentation process. The larvae digest the fats, breaking down the cheese's texture into a soft, almost liquid consistency. This transformation results in a strong, pungent flavor, often described as intense and spicy. The cheese is traditionally eaten while the larvae are still alive, as dead larvae indicate spoilage. Some diners prefer to remove the larvae, while others consume them along with the cheese. When disturbed, the larvae can jump several inches, leading some people to wear protective eyewear. Cazu Martzu has been part of Sardinian culture for centuries, historically made by shepherds as a way to extend the life of their cheese. However, due to health concerns, not surprising, it is officially banned by the European Union. Despite this, Cazu Martzu continues to be produced illegally and consumed within Sardinian communities. Now, in some rare cases, we find discoveries in our world that sort of happen a bit later than expected. Like imagine the first guys to see this on the coast. This might be a mermaid scale. No, this probably might be one of those proof that Atlantis is real. Excuse me, humans. Do you have any toilet paper around? Did that whale just fucking talk? Ambergris is a waxy substance produced in the intestines of sperm whales. This material forms when a whale's digestive system produces a solid, fatty substance in response to indigestible food, such as squid beaks. Over time, it hardens and becomes buoyant, floating in the ocean until it eventually washes ashore, where it is collected. Ambergris can vary in color from light gray to dark brown and has a distinctive musky odor. Historically, ambergris was used in culinary applications such as flavoring sweets, beverages, and perfumes. It was considered a luxury item, often consumed by royalty and elites. In Europe during the 17th and 18th centuries, Ambergris was added to the liquors like brandy and used in making pastries. It was believed to have aphrodisiac properties and was highly prized. Ambergris was also thought to have medicinal qualities, such as aiding digestion and treating ailments. The process of harvesting ambergris is labor-intensive, as it must be carefully collected from beaches or retrieved from the ocean. Once collected, it undergoes a purification process where it is cleaned and aged. The aging process enhances its fragrance, making it more suitable for use in perfumes and flavoring. While ambergris is still used in perfume production, its use in food has declined, largely due to ethical concerns regarding real conservation and the rarity of the substance. In modern times, synthetic substitutes are often used in place of real ambergris. Despite its controversial origins, ambergris remains a fascinating example of how animal byproducts can become highly sought-after luxury goods. Now that you know what products these animal wastes make, would you like to try them next? Leave a comment down below and see you in the next one. Stay stable.